Hey folks, how you all doing? This is Con Or coming to you with a Company of Heroes 2 2v2. Today, this game has been sent in to me, and I cannot honestly tell you who sent it in to me, other than just to say that it's been sent in to me by one of our subscribers. So let's be a little bit generous for that right there, and just jump right into the combatant. So spawning over here in the northeast, as the US player, it is the forces of Orange Leopard, bringing in Airborne Company, Armor Company, and Tac Support. His ally, playing the rather glitchy forces of Microsoft Word with the Soviets, it is going to be Soviet Combined Arms Army, Soviet Reserve Army, so partisans and all that kind of good stuff, and Soviet Shock Army. Definitely a varied a roster of individuals. Their opponents down here in the south, it's going to be two OKW players. The first one of these, I'm hoping this is BROVVNIE. It'd be kind of cool if it is. If not, then it's BROVVNIE. Not entirely sure if that's the case or not. But bringing in liftoff of ground forces, fortifications, and elite armor doctrine, definitely going for the kind of moderately standard OKW. And his ally playing with Breakthrough Doctrine already is going to be SARS. So it will not be avian flu on this map. No, it is across the Rhine. And very early on, we're going to see a lot of kind of media engagements going on here. Looks at these conscripts, for example, run into the Sturmpayos. And forgive me for a couple of frame rate drops there. I will say, I really want to be showing you guys some of the winter balance changes, but I cannot get the mod to work. So if anybody out there is having some issues themselves and want to give me a clue on what they might have done to get around that, I'd appreciate it. Every single time I will load up a replay, it keeps saying sync error detected. But anyway. In the meantime, we are going to find that the conscripts and BROVVNIE's forces are charging into each other, and it seems instead that the U.S. might be playing loose meta. Loose meta, rushing out a mortar squad very early on with a rifleman. SARS, by his own particular decision, is going for a somewhat unsteady build. We're rushing an SWS while BROVVNIE is going a little more standard, picking up a second Volksgrenadier as well as the Kubelwagen. Problem is, in the north, the Kubelwagen cannot really be used to its best effect. All these garrisons really kind of locking the thing down for him. And while this kind of bloodshed goes on back and forth, hopefully BROVVNIE gets his guys away. He does in time. That's good. I'm going to say, this week, guys, I'm going to be down in Austin, Texas. I'm going away to see some family. So videos will continue to go up. But, you know, at the same time, please understand that it might be a slightly different time schedule. So thanks so much for being patient with me. I do really appreciate it. Down here in the south, we're going to find out that these rear echelons are trying to go and volley fire all these Volksgrens, which is not going to go well. And indeed, Orange Leopard's troops are getting chased back. You might even see the first blood squad drop going down here. Yes, we do. So SARS draws first blood on this map, taking out a rear echelon squad and kind of not really setting back the American forces, but definitely giving them something to think about. In the meantime, though, BROVVNIE's troops are just trying to plop down defensive positions and taking a fair amount of firepower doing it, but managed to do so under fire. And with those on the field, they should be able kind of successfully get in and around. Interesting play right here. These Volksgrens were able to force these Americans to go actually back into cover auto-wise, and they hustle right behind sandbags, which is very, very... But it's 9 minutes in, and shockingly, we've had slam bang action pretty much from one side of the map to the other. Orange Leopard, in the meantime, has decided to call its M1919s, which is kind of curious. Usually you see a lot more BAR fire as opposed to the M1919s. And indeed, we're going to see actually these Volksgrens run right into this 50 cal and getting shredded by quite a bit. And the rest of BROVVNIE's troops are going right behind that too. So Orange Leopard has decided to go for that Tac Support Company. I think a fairly decent decision. It gives them these late Calliopes, which against this early infantry push would be more than enough to take care of it, even without this mortar. And yeesh, it's just brutal right now. So Captain Verfer, thankfully, is not unloading on infantry targets, soft targets. It's always a little bit frustrating to me whenever I see that happening. BROVVNIE, for his own part, is going for Luftwaffe ground forces. Not sure I necessarily agree with that decision. I mean, having the Fallschirmjägers is always kind of nice to pop out of any kind of ambient building. And I guess while I'm thinking about that, I was asked a good question. I think it was Mr. Mitzflick or something very, very close to that name the other day. He was asking me, For the OKW supplementary infantry, what would be a better decision? Would it be better to go for, I see a half-track coming in for the Allies. Is it better to go for a Panzer Fusiliers or to go for Fallschirmjägers? And while both of them have definitely their bonuses, I feel like Fallschirmjägers are a little bit less forgiving on how well you have to use them. And indeed, we see something like that's probably going to be happening a lot on this map because of all the firepower between the Lieutenant and the M1919s and the 50 cal and the machine gun. It's going to be very, very difficult for the Allies to push forwards with their base of fire, the access to push forward with the base of fire that exists for the Allies. We are going to see that BROVVNIE has been able to call in his Schwerpanzer headquarters, and that 3-centimeter gun on it is going to be more than enough to kind of back away the Allies should they push forward far enough. But they don't seem eager to do that, and you are going to notice that the map is slowly turning more and more blue. Taking a look at veterancy, Microsoft Word has been able to call in a tank infantry battalion command, but there is no tank despite more than enough fuel to be able to do so. Another thing, guys, I'm going to, like I said, when I really get a chance to get that mod to work, the Su-76, just a heads up for all you Soviet files out there, that artillery barrage will no longer be free. It's going to cost you 15 munitions to get out, and I kind of agree with that change. In a couple earlier games, even as recent as mid to early November, we saw some guys building, just spamming out Su-76s and just having incredible amounts of barrages. Microsoft's Word calling a Soviet Reserve Army, so those conscripts are going to get better and better all the time, and having the ability to call in those PPSs could be even more devastating should the Germans not be able to react in time. In the meantime, we are going to see this ISG right here is going to get picked off, and I'm not sure, are the Soviets really going to try to take the gun? That might be a good idea. But under fire, these MG-34 should be able to push them back with heavy losses, and indeed you're going to see these conscripts out here in negative cover. They're going to get capped. Oh my gosh. M5 half-track in the meantime, I'm going to be calling out that quad 50 cal, and when that happens, ain't nobody going to be ready. Luckily for the Germans, though, it decides to back away as the lieutenant finds himself all by his lonesome. But 12 minutes in, it seems the Allies might have been able to stabilize and even start to push back against the German war machine. BROVVNIE going for an infrared half-track, interesting, and then a Panzer IV right after that. And I think we're going to see ourselves a dead infantry squad out of the Americans. Yes, we do. This path right here is the path to nothingness. There's that half-track unloading on the Germans, suppressing them like crazy. That's going to turn anything to mush. And it seems that the half-track is just going to start charging around, just doing its own thing. Until now, this 3-centimeter gun will be more than enough to chase it back, and I wonder if we'll even be able to damage... No, just out of range. So just to be enough to take out or damage the engine, maybe even kill it. But luckily for that half-track, it was not. Kind of curious it even called it in the first place. It's not a common call-in. Ooh, and we are going to see Fallschirmjägers actually coming out on top of these conscripts. We're going to see one of the reasons that people will use Fallschirmjägers. These guys are deadly close-in fighters, even against things like the PPSs out of the Soviets. However, they are very, very expensive to reinforce. Indeed, I think Panzer Fusiliers I was talking about during the comment of like 35, I think maybe 38. The Fallschirmjägers with a smaller unit size are at least that much, if not more so. A little hard to have a consistent supply of them without being bled dry. But that Panzer IV is on the field, which means that this Maxim, which had been devastating the German pushes to the north, is going to get shoved back fairly hardcore. And then one of these conscripts is going to start tossing out AT grenades. Yep, there's one. There's a second one. There's a third one. There's just damaged engines. Just making sure that was going to be the case. But there's enough infantry moving up in support with Valiant Assault, which is a very, very, very uncommon usage here. And perhaps we might even see... There's this gun on the map for the Soviets. Surprise! Oh, there it is. And now the STGs coming in. Yep, incendiary grenades are going to come out like crazy. And while the Panzer IV is going to get hammered pretty hardcore, is that going to be enough to take him out? I really hope not. That'd be kind of embarrassing. There's flame all over the place. So very, very beat up. It looks like he's going to be able to limp away. So Panzer IV still survives. And the Germans are threatening to take back the center position, but are pushed back before they can very much actually solidify any attempt on the map. Volkswagen's going to come in to toss themselves out at Panzerfaust. Might be an interesting plan. No, they are not. And Rakettenwerfer down to the southern part of the field will not get a chance to really get things going on here. Oh, never mind. Here it is. Damaged engine. That guy is hurt kind of hard. And yep, Panzer IV had just kind of came in behind with a partisan tank hunters getting picked off there. Good play out of Microsoft Word. Forgive me, I was hoping to really see this half-track go down. Not entirely sure why I was so invested in that. And it looks like it's going to be a Panther coming out. Panther? Yeah, I think a Panther. I can never tell, unfortunately. Yep, Panther. He's going to be coming out. That's going to be very, very well done, I would say, there. Panther coming out should be more than enough. Microsoft Word's going to have a T-34-76. But against the Panther, that's pretty much asking for trouble. And indeed, shockingly, we might even see the Germans take a plurality of positions on this map. The conscript assault wave really coming out here. And if the Germans aren't really ready for this kind of firepower, it's going to be very, very damaging. Grenades are going to go out, do some damage to this machine gun, but not enough to even take out a model, and indeed just some health damage going out here. And never mind, that MG34 is going to suppress absolutely everything. So there's two. Well, okay, one's pinned. Okay, that was very, very unlucky for the Germans. They were not able to get more than just what they had. Is this MG going to retreat? Yes, he is. So 30 munitions being used to not too much effect. But hey, I mean, that's a good starting position nonetheless, I suppose. Down here in the south, the Americans are trying to charge into the German forces, but this MG should be able to lock down the position for a little bit longer. Never mind, he's only got one model left. Time to book it out of there. And he decides it's time to boogie, and he bolts. Which means that these Volkswagen's going to see themselves really want to get out of there pretty quickly. A incendiary grenade comes out to kind of block off any rapid push by the Americans. And indeed, we are going to see that the Orange Leopards decide just to even skip that Tier 2, saying, screw the Stewart. I just want my late-game tanks. And why not? It seems like a decent idea. Panther announces himself on the field, though, and this half-track's going to find himself slain pretty hardcore. No, he's not. Alright, nope. Instead, he's going to find himself running into this T-34-76. And I think he's going to find himself getting cut off and slain here as well. He's got no backup, and this Zook, even though it doesn't do a ton of damage, will do enough that the Germans really have to be concerned here. Molotov cocktail going on the Sturmpires to the north as well, 1823 in, and we still have casualties being found all over the map. Oorang like crazy coming in from the Soviets. They're going to try to get an anti-tank grenade coming out. They go years and years down the road to pick up that Panther. And indeed, the Allies are dropping themselves to 300 tickets less than 20 minutes into the game. Not a good place to be. But Jackson's coming out, and we saw the T-34-76 for the Soviets, so I guess we can't be too concerned about them, can we? But 19 minutes in, and the Allies, I think, are slowly gearing themselves up to really make a good push here. Ziskin's going to lock down this early part of the road, indeed right around the center part of the map, with the assistance of this T-34, which has unfortunately not been repaired yet. Ugh, cough, cough. I'm kind of wondering why the Germans have not been a little bit more effective about things, a little more efficient, a little more pushing a little bit more, in fact. The T-34-76 is going to come up, and I don't exactly know. Okay, so, good idea. Rakettenwerfer is going to take out this building so that way there's no partisans that can be called into the rear of the Axis position. In the meantime, SARS's ISGs are benefiting greatly from the infrared searchlight. Indeed, if you want to turn that on, as things starts coming back in, sweeping back over, you're going to see a lot of positions being revealed here. And although this anti-air package is going to continue to suppress all this Axis infantry moving in, can't be too upset with the initial German position. Panther tank as well, as soon as it gets repaired, and indeed he's already been repaired, mostly. Slide forward, he really should have taken a shot or two on this half track. There he goes, that's one. 3 shots will take it out, and the Jackson missing its first shot, too, is not a good place to be. Both T-34-76-1 coming in, and number 2, ooh, no, just 2 shots, and never mind. So the AA half track is down, that's great. As for Kettenwerfer, as well as the Panther, will force back 1 T-34s, and he's got a main gun destroyed. That's a great thing right there for the Axis. But in turn, they will find themselves outflanked by this Zis gun, and I'm kind of curious that Microsoft Ward has not decided to go for a light artillery barrage. He knows there's a machine gun here, but never mind, with mortars like that, why does he need to? But yeah, wow, shockingly, and that guy limps away. Probably should just book it back to base, but he decides not to. Brownie, in the meantime, will finally go for himself on a Panther, and that, I think, is a good call. But Microsoft Word is building an IL-152. ML-152. IL's the, would have been the airplane series, wouldn't it? And let's kind of slower down this angle a little bit more. We're getting some lens flare going on right now. It's like a Michael Bay movie up in here. I'm not sure why we're getting lens flare, but we are. And indeed, this position on the center part of the map is starting to draw a lot of forces from both sides. It's kind of annoying, unfortunately, because you're going to see a cauldron of fighting. I'm wondering if this Panther's going to get wrecked just because of all this enemy fire that'd be pouring in on it. Never mind, we are going to see Kettenwerfer number 1, for some reason, retreats. Curious decision there. Oh, that's why. P-47 strafing run. I wasn't even paying attention to that. What? Unfortunately, it doesn't do a whole lot. Smoke clouds coming in, though, like crazy, but there's no push to follow it up, and indeed, we're even going to see this T-34-76 is kind of laughing. Of course, he laughs, and that's what's going to happen to him. He's going to get picked off by this Panther, I do believe. No, and in fact, it's going to be a Panzerfaust, I think, that does it. Either way, Fallschirmjägers are going to limp away, just barely. And interestingly, we're going to see ourselves a 2-centimeter flak emplacement out in the field. Not something you see very often. And indeed, yes, SARS is bringing in an elephant. He sees as all the enemy tanks and decides it is time to bring in that Jagdtiger. That's going to be tons of fun right there. Not elephant, excuse me, Jagdtiger, though. Either way, Jagdtiger can come on the field. He's going to have engine improvements, which would be a little bit better for him. And once he has the munis to support it, he will have that supporting fire, and that's going to be insane on the membrane. And considering now that there's 2 Soviet howitzers that can just lob shells all day, every day, you have to be a little bit concerned about the immediate prospects for the Germans. As long as ISGs keep dropping shells and that infrared half-track continues to kind of notice things on the map, things could be okay for the Germans. For example, this rifleman squad's getting cut to pieces. However, this Panther is not doing particularly well. Fallschirmjägers diving deep, though, might be able to decrew the howitzer. They do. They throw out a bundle grenade. Okay, they threw out a bundle grenade on one to get rid of it, but not the other one. I would laugh, and of course, excuse me guys for missing that engine wreck right there. There's the Jagdtiger coming up and just wiping it out. Calliope is going to try to find, looking deep again. My guess is right in this area. Yeah, he's looking for those ISGs. He will probably find at least one. And this Flak 38 emplacement is going to get taken out. I have just marked my words. No. No, instead, I honestly blow another one by completely thinking that it's going to be the Calliope, taking the cake. And no, it's the Kettenwerfer taking out 2. So well done there. Yep, time to go for a lower angle shot on this one. This gun continues to hold the high ground, and while the Allies continue to take off tickets, the Germans have still been in very, very good shape. Still up a good 30-ish tickets. And a lot of the Allies are back in base. We're going to see that one howitzer is being recruited, and indeed there's the other one getting recruited. Combat engineers fleeing back to base so that way they can get reinforced one more time. How are we looking for veterancy right now, though? but everything's looking pretty good for our Axis players. We have seen some squad drops here and there, but not too bad. Yagtiga gonna start throwing down rounds? No, not quite. Microsoft Word, he's got a fair amount of veterancy as well, except for his vehicles, which seem to be into the fray and immediately get picked off. Does BROVVNIE still have that Panther? He does. Panther's getting repaired back up, so that's gonna be good. What is not as good is the fact that right now there still continues to be really no Allied infantry to support the vehicles in the middle part of the map. We have 3 squads of M1919s and now the BARs. But again, ISGs could be more than enough just to chase them away. Yagtiga looking to go for that HE shells. Unfortunately, not going to do a whole lot of good. He's doing attack grounds, not going to do much. Germans, in the meantime, are going to be able to take a good portion of the map. No, never mind. He's going to get chased away. Panther is up to the north. I'm wondering if we're going to see maybe a pick-off, sliding in on the side to this T-34-76. There is 1 shot. There's going to be 2 shots. He's probably going to go down. And indeed, the Su-85 is tilting around. No, it's going to be a ram. They're so brave amateur right there. Su-85 comes over to try to justify his comrade's death, but I don't think that's going to happen. And indeed, I think the loss of that particular vehicle will mean a very bad position for the Allies, at least in the immediate future. Conscript Blob is moving to the north, trying to pick on these Volksgrens, but it's not going to be a really particularly great idea. Not in the least of which, rapid conscription. Not in the least of which, this Panther would be enough to chase them away. And look, dear God, these guys coming across negative cover are going to get butchered like cattle. PPSs are going to do pretty darn well against these Fallschirmjägers, though they outnumber them by a hefty number. But BROVVNIE's got more just to throw right back into the fray, and I'm surprised there's no bundle grenades going out. No, instead it's going to be, again, the Soviets rushing over negative cover and paying the price. The Calliope rounds coming in, and that's going to devastate a good portion of the German war machine. Nevertheless, that charge has done little else but just kind of put casualties onto the Allied side of the equation. See, those 4 squads getting hammered, mind you, really for not that much gain. Wondering, incendiary grenade coming out? Anything like that? No, not quite. Okay, well, instead these guys are going to find themselves getting carved up pretty good because of the M1919s and the lieutenant. Back away, swim away, swim away! Never mind, it's going to go down. So BROVVNIE losing a very valuable infantry squad here. Assault artillery, though, is being called down on this particular area. Problem is that it's going to be, I think, all over except where he needs it to be. Not a whole lot in this area. I stand corrected. Nope, never mind, not where he needs it to be. It's going everywhere but where the enemy is. See happening here, smoke screens, everything like that, not too much. In the north we are going to see that another squad has gone back to the rear, another Fallschirmjäger squad getting chased away. Just, yeah, cloudy with a chance of death. You see my frame rate, but just took a nosedive because of how much smoke is on the field. Yikes. Yagatiga is over here. He's just kind of chilling right now. It doesn't really need to move too much. And really at the moment, with just a Calliope and a Su-85, then the Germans are in good stead. I'm wondering if we're going to see another Calliope barrage. I would just start dropping it right back here if I have any idea where my opponent's base is. Start looking for it by throwing down rounds. And instead, no, he's looking for those ISGs again. I guess why the heck not? I mean, those things have been doing pretty darn well. So yep, if one more round comes off and he's been decrewed. Another P-47 barrage, strafing run coming in, and it gets taken out again. Jeez. It is not a good day to be an American fighter pilot, let me tell you. Or fighter bomber pilot, if you even prefer. Yagatiga is still up in the area, and Yeah, you don't want to be pushing forward either if you're a tanker. Kind of curious how he's taking fire over here. Oh, these Volksgrenadiers are charging forwards. Okay. And to support this fearsome Jagdtiger, which doesn't really have a whole lot on, for its own personal defense, Panzer IV is now on the field. Good decision there. Running at BROVVNIE is going to be doing something similar for himself. No, he's got another SWS, so he's gearing himself up to bring in a King Tiger. Right now we're going to see some death, though, from Brown. He's going to definitely lose his machine gun. Just by all the sources of firepower that should be coming in. And grenades are coming in on this Jagdtiger, but he's laughing at it sufficiently because that thing doesn't have to worry about a whole lot. I mean, look how thick that armor is. It was not just an assault gun for no reason. Su-85, though, finally announces its presence, and I'm sure that the Jagdtiger will charge forwards to protect its smaller cousin. The conscripts will not be undone, though. He's trying desperately to move up and to back up his ally. Will be able to do so just barely. And Jagdtiger, fire away, my friend. There we go. One shot takes that Su-85 down a significant chunk of health. Calliope might be moving in because he sees an opportunity for a shot. I don't know necessarily. But Jagdtiger finally taking some damage before being forced back. Yeah, BROVVNIE's going to stall out, looks like, for that King Tiger. There we go, finally seeing some rounds. Flak emplacement decrewed. ISG's decrewed, and that's unfortunate right there. That's 4 stars of veterancy going down the drain. And the Allies continue to hold 2 VPs, 249 to 276. And it's worth mentioning that the conscripts really should be repairing this Su-85. It's not been happening all game, even though it really is probably the best chance he's got. Wait, did BROVVNIE even set up that last truck? Yeah, he did. He finally set that up. So he's got a wee bit more time before that puppy is ready to go, before the King Tiger is ready to be coming in. But once it does, I imagine it's going to be pretty hard to kind of stop it. Not a ton of veterancy still left, unfortunately, on the map for BROVVNIE's troops. And indeed, the more often he keeps coming in, the more often he finds himself getting butchered. And it's going to be continue to happen the more this howitzer gets a chance to fire. Interesting. A smoke grenade goes out for really no reason whatsoever. These guys are going to get carved to pieces by this 50 cal. And let's say suppression. There's one. The Fallschirmjägers are coming in as well. They're trying to get Indy to throw a grenade out. I don't really know. Incendiary grenade, and he's going to get forced back. Nope, not going to happen too well. So BROVVNIE's is going to continue holding on, like I said, just waiting for that end game Tiger. But now there's a Jax on the field to support the Calliope, and Microsoft Word really should just be making some more AT. He knows the Jagdtiger is there. He knows the P4 is there. He's got one partisan tank hunter, and he's got the Su-85, but that's not going to be enough. And indeed now these PPSs are going to come forward and start clearing away all the Axis anti-tank defense. That's probably a good plan right there as well. Because the Axis are just really starting to get themselves, I won't say, I don't know how to put it. Oof, but what I can say is that right now we're going to see themselves some dead conscripts, I imagine. And if nothing else, probably a Jackson as well. Yep, there goes the Jackson. He's down. Calliope rounds are coming in, though, in the meantime, so it would be best... Ooh, one squad vanishes, and another squad almost gets taken out in the meantime. Su-85 has been called in, but the King Tiger is coming in. You can almost hear Ride of the Valkyries. The King Tiger with its smaller brother behind it, the Panther tank, is kind of chilling. And that is that Panzer Kyle that I do not want to be in the front of. Panzer Kyle, by the way, Panzer Wedge, kind of a big, chargy kind of attack going on. BROVVNIE, in the meantime, dropping Fallschirmjägers way behind enemy lines. I think he's trying to go for another dive on top of these howitzers. And it'll be the second time he's done this. He will not be able to support that bundle grenade. It's unfortunate for him because it's probably the best chance he's got to decrewing both of these. This guy's going to go down no matter what. There's just too much firepower here. He's decrewed one, but it's not going to make a huge difference at the moment. The King Tiger has found himself taking firepower from a bunch of different sources. The Ziscon, the Zook, oh excuse me, the Shrek, the Zook. A lot of stuff's going on here. Panther's been taken out as well by that. Oh my gosh. Okay, at this point I kind of feel like the Germans are deserving to lose this one just because they've been so careless with their troops. Ay, ay, ay. And more smoke, which means my frame rate is going to drop down like crazy, boys. SARS, in the meantime, is going to call himself a Stuka-Safus, which is probably a good plan. Should have been done about 10-15 minutes ago. Any kind of rounds in this area, we could see a very, very devastating hit. So keep an eye, folks, for that first barrage. I'm really hoping it's going to be something significant here, but I'm just a romantic like that. Any day now, boys. Any day. Rounds coming in? Not quite yet. No, instead it's going to be another P-47 run. So MG goes down. And shockingly enough, doesn't get shot down. How about that? Stuka-Safus rounds are coming in though, so let's just kind of appreciate this for a moment. Okay, it does fairly well. 8 kills in the first round. Almost takes out the Ziscon. And if you can decrew that Ziscon, that's a lot of veterancy gone. Not all of it, mind you, but some of it. And that's a good chunk right there. However, the best thing about that particular little push is that now the Allies are going to lose some tickets for the first time and really forever. The Jagdtiger laughs as he takes firepower from the Su-85. And the Sturmpires go down. Jeez, good lord. But Panzer Fusiliers are coming in from SARS as well, so we're going to see a nice little bit of comparison between the two forces, albeit in a very, very limited sense. Panzer Fusiliers coming in, they're going to have that flare at Veteran 1, they're going to have the grenade, and they're going to have that anti-tank rifle grenade. But the G43s is really the only reason you want to bring these guys on board. Fairly solid long-range component. Not always the best close-in fighting, though. Another Stuka-Safus is out on the field, and that could be, I won't say a game changer for the Axis, but it will do very, very well for them. Especially with the King Tiger in support. He should be upgrading that machine gun days ago, but it's not going to happen. SARS, in the meantime, I kind of wonder if he's going to try to hold on to that fuel until he can safely call in a King Tiger of his own. He has to free up a little bit more of his pop cap, though. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm sure he can lose some troops if he needs to. Stuka-Safus, I wonder where that's going to go. I was shooting anywhere in this area, but it's not firing just yet. And indeed, we're going to see another Jax has been called in. So, yikes is all I can really say. Partisan tank hunters, for some reason, firing their Shreks at the infantry squads and paying the price for it. There we go, finally getting some rounds off on that King Tiger, but it's not going to do very much. And dear God, what's coming in now? Another Stuka barrage is coming in. Going to devastate pretty hardcore, not perfectly, but a little bit. Interesting. Stuka barrage on these howitzers? Yes, that's one. The other one's not been decrewed, but that's a good first barrage, and this guy's going to make it away too, even better. And bad news bears for the Russians right now. They have dropped one of the captured Panzer Shreks, and no one's picked up just yet. So it would be a good idea to get that under control, but they're not picking it up. I don't know why, but they're not picking it up. King Tiger really could sit back here and just kind of pick off infantry as it moves forwards, but they're not going to. And indeed, we'll see this Jagdtiger is going to start firing rounds at the Ziscon. Ziscon can't quite see its own attacker, so he's going to get forced away, delicately for the time being at least. And Brownie is really starting to look a little bit slim on his infantry. 42 minutes in, he's got 2 squads of real infantry, 1 support. And for some reason, he's got to rebuild his Schwerpanzer headquarters. Okay, that's a problem. But he doesn't have the fuel to really kind of support that at the moment either. So, yeah, big issue. Stuka barrage is ready to go for, no, it's not. I kind of thought it was. 11 kills. Apparently I missed the second barrage on that one, but that's okay. 42 minutes and 45 seconds in. I might end up cutting out a portion that's starting to get a little bit long in the first place. See, just guys are kind of coming in at each other. You can tell the sides of the map are not being used as much. This is by the general trend of lack of craters all over the map, other than in this central area. 43 minutes in. Is that still that same first mortar? I don't know if the same mortar necessarily, but he's definitely doing a pretty good job. Rounds coming in, there's going to be oorahing coming forwards. I don't think that's really the greatest option. And geez, Jackson comes up, puts a shot into the Panzer IV and takes like 60 or 70% damage in return. So MG's going to get forced back, or else he's going to get picked off. Might even be both at that point. Nope, here's another barrage coming in. So where is that going? No, looking for it. Nope. Finally, the mortar gets picked off, and not just picked off, obliterated off the map. And what had been a very, very good position for the Americans is starting to look less and less good. It looks not double plus ungood necessarily, but still just not that wonderful. Assault artillery in the meantime trying to cover this advance. Interesting decision right there. And geez, indeed, this Calliope firing back in. Brownie's going to be down just almost just vehicles more than anything else. Main gun destroyed because of that Su-85, and the P4 is probably going to go down one more round. Yep, there he goes. King Tiger, though, will not be denied. He's coming forwards. He's coming out of that smoke cloud, and that just looks fierce as hell. Scary, in fact. And that Ziscon, honestly, could get taken out just one more round here. Nope, not going to aim in that direction. Stukas Afus, in the meantime, is he going to shoot for this area back here? I don't know, and I kind of want to know. Very surprised he's not being a little more aggressive with it. Jagdtiga is doing pretty well for himself, and Brownie really needs to invest some more in infantry. He's got the manpower. But I guess right now the Germans aren't too concerned about that. I think they're more concerned about just getting their vehicles repaired and kind of maintaining their present kind of positioning. Jagdtiga has a damaged engine, not too bad though. Where are we seeing rounds coming in? More Calliope rounds. No, the ILML, 152 howitzers are looking for that Schwerpanzer headquarters. If they take it out before the P4 gets out, that's a big waste of fuel right there, that is. Jagdtiga moving forward, trying to put some pressure in the middle part of the map. Volksgrund's moving in, incendiary grenade goes out, and that, yep, as I say, that lieutenant really needs to get out of there, or at least get some hot pants going on there. But they do decap the point, and that's still pretty important right there. Panzerfusiliers in the meantime getting carved up, but good by a rifle grenade and getting picked off by a comparison. Rounds coming in on top. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Yep, there goes one rifle squad right there, and that's still a big loss for Orange Leopard. He's down to 2 rifle squads, calling in a third one again. And very, very interesting positioning. The Stukas Afus is gutsy, and he's going to pay for it right now, I imagine. No, is he going to get away? That is one cheeky little bugger. Not even just like a moderate little bugger. He's a cheeky little bugger on that one. Very, very cleverly done. It is going to be an American capture point in the middle part of the field. This infrared half-track is booking it to the rear. King Tiger really should be calling it forward right now. He's got full health. We're going to see ourselves finally setting up another Schwerpanzer headquarters. P4 is kind of chilling over here in the south. This barrage has gone out, 15 kills, not the most, but at the same time, at least he's been carving into the Allied war machine a little bit here and there. If he can continue to kind of carve into him, not too bad. P4, though, needs to be a little bit more cautious about things. This Jackson, though, at the same time needs to be just as terrified of that Jagdtiga. The range on that thing is beyond ungodly. Where is that? There it is. So free fire, you'd be able to actually do some nice long range of firepower here. And there's the King Tiger actually coming back in. Never mind, King Tiger doing his thing. No, unfortunately for them. That could have been a very, very big loss had been able to take out any of those Allied vehicles. Unfortunately, he's not been able to do so. Another rocket barrage. Question is where? Okay. Not really getting the kind of coverage he was hoping for. Yeah, there's some damage back here. Not that great, though. The rocket barrage, though? Nope, not really a bunch of kills now. There's there. Down to the south, we're finally seeing an assault. This machine gun's going to get carved to pieces. It's going to get forced back into a hefty, very, very quick retreat. But if these Russians move forward, they will find themselves getting shot to hell. King Tiger as well find itself, you know, there's this gun right here, but, you know, no vehicles. He's going to be able to do what he needs to do. Never mind, it's not going to do that at all. Calliope rounds coming in, doesn't do enough to really push back. And indeed is going to finally start taking on that Zis gun. Now, if the Strom pilots have been able to pick off that Zis gun, that could have been a fairly decent victory, really, for the Germans. But that's not going to be the case. And indeed, another Su-85 is coming through for Microsoft Word as a T-34-76 down the field. Did I see that correctly? No, the third Su-85. Excuse me, I thought it was only two, but there's a third one coming on the field. Scary. Scary, scary, scary things for that King Tiger. Brown, in the meantime, is finally calling an Obersoldaten, and Obersoldaten should be enough to kind of boost his ailing infantry presence, and indeed, probably the best thing he can put on his pallet at the moment. They are expensive, and that's for a reason. Barrage coming in, and the question is, where's it getting angled? Oh my gosh, actually the Lieutenant's going to run almost right into it. And one Jackson's going to get picked off. That's a big hit right there. Another King Tiger shifting in. He didn't get that kill, did he? That's not his kill? No, only one vehicle destroyed. But with rounds like that, who needs anybody else, right? King Tiger's going to take some hits, though. In the meantime, he's going to get forced back. Basically because the Su-85s, as well as the Zooks, backing up that unfortunate Jackson, the wounded one, now kind of moving back into the rear. And I'm sensing a barrage waiting to happen right in this area. Calliope rounds, though, coming down instead for the Germans, doing pretty hardcore work. But yeah, this is just asking for it right here. So let's just take a moment. Question is, where is it coming in? Okay, yeah, that'll do a good bit. Orange Leopard just lost 2 squads, and he's getting carved to pieces. And now this King Tiger has taken tons and tons of damage. But P4, these guys right here should be doing a lot more work than that, getting a lot more damage to them than that. Luckily for them, they are going to get away. And that is just ducky for our Axis players. This King Tiger, excuse me, Yagtiga has been kind of chilling here. Rear armor hit happening, but you know what? One round comes in, he's done a fair amount of damage. One more round will take him out. The question is, will that round come? Nope, because they come off the Panzer IV, though. He's going to take him out. Forced away by the second of this Su-85. There's now a fourth Su-85 coming onto the field as well. And what I kind of want to see is I want to kind of see the Allies, or rather the Axis drop a barrage right here as these other pieces are getting repaired. Indeed, you are going to see this ML-152 howitzer doing its thing. Recon overflight. I'm wondering, does he have enough? Is it up? It's up and ready to go. Okay, here comes another cheeky barrage coming right on top of these guys, I'm guessing. Yep. These guys do get back inside their Jackson just in time, but that other howitzer is now gone. And that has been some of the most gutsy play I have seen in a really, really long time. Gun run coming in, and that, yeah, there's another plane going down there. Jeez, I have not seen this many like airplane deaths since I was watching Memphis Belle or Battle of Britain. Just as the same thing, really, for me. Volksgren's coming up again, fully excuse me. Try this again for a third time. Fully vetted up Volksgrens against a fully vetted up lieutenant. Not going to go particularly well for the Volksgrens if there's so much other support, and this Panzer's going to buy it, this poor guy. Rounds coming in. Oh my gosh, and this screams another barrage. Please drop a rounds on top of this bad boy. No, it's going to be our assault artillery instead. Looking maybe to pick on whatever possible. Going to be going off to the east, though, as opposed to really on what he needs to. Jagdtiger, though, going to do pretty awesome. And another round coming in. There we go. Rounds not doing anywhere near as much as they could have done. Jeez, that was just begging for death on every sense of the word. Oh my gosh, there we go. A little bit better. And I think that was because, yeah, 35 kills on him? Jeez, pretty insane. Su-85s hold down, are doing pretty well against the Jagdtiger. Never mind, there goes one. And another Jagdtiger shot or two. We'll see this other Su-85 picked off. Conscripts are very, very viciously trying to fight off. Oof! This thing has been damaged. Could he go down? Could he go down? I don't know. Out of control is on one of these bad boys. King Tiger's going to get brewed up too. Jagdtiger rather getting brewed up. King Tiger, is he going to be able to get over here in time to save the Stukos? One round comes in. Oh my gosh, yep, it's going to go pretty poorly here. Never mind, can we see? Nope, 2 rounds coming in, rear armor hit. Jackson impacts on the hillside. Yep, this is going to be death and destruction for the Jackson. There goes one. Those smart missiles falling away from the other side of things here. Yeah, 35 kills in that bad boy, dear God. 94 to 179, 54 minutes into this game. We are still not done, ladies and gentlemen. Both sets of players, excuse me, floating a fair amount of resources on one or the other. That King Tiger really has nothing to oppose at this point anymore. It's just these pitiful forces. Yes, there's another Su-85 on the field, but there's now a Jagdpanzer coming out for BROVVNIE. SARS should be able to call in. Yep, there's another Panther coming in for SARS. Although, yeah, if I had a better idea than calling another Jagdtiger. Which is just unfortunate because that Jagdtiger was doing work, son. Yikes. And this collection of armor in the middle part of the field is just begging for death. I will admit, having the half-track with the searchlight, they're doing surprisingly well as well. Another set of Stukos rounds coming in. There goes a Zis gun. That's a major problem taken out of the way. Calliope returns the favor, though, looking for that Volksgrenadier squad. And given the close-in range, to do pretty well against it. No, it's not going to be the case. Instead, maybe we're going to see another round, another barrage right in this area.
Heavy machine gun team.
No, not quite. King Tiger comes up, though. He's going to take some firepower, incidentally, from the Su-85. And he doesn't really care about it too much. Instead, he starts firing at the machine gun. Going to take some rounds from the Jackson, though, too. And this is starting to look like a very good opportunity for Stukos rounds. The Jackson, oops, one Jackson goes down. Su-85 putting fire on the King Tiger, and the other Su-85 putting rounds into this Panther. Either way, good decisions there, looking to take out those main battle tanks for the Germans. But I don't know if this one's going to have enough firepower from the Allies' side to take on everything that the Germans have. Jagdpanzer doing their thing. Rounds coming in, where's it going to go? I'm hoping right in this area. That'd be amazing. Oh my gosh, yes it is. That is amazing. A bunch of damage does get done. Not enough, mind you, but a fair bit. Yikes, never mind. The Soviet ranks are getting devastated by a bunch of very, very, very good grenades. Just doing so a lot of health damage and allowing models to get picked up here. Yep, there goes another one. We see squads get picked up here. M9 Bazooka is on the ground, which means that Major is dead. He's been dead for a fair bit of time. But now he's super dead. Jagdpanzer is coming through the smoke and the haze. He's going to take some firepower again from the anti-tank, or the tank destroyers. Booby-trapping the capture point. Oh my gosh, the Germans are trying desperately to hold on as much as possible. Are assault artillery coming in? No. But the Su-85 does get picked off. That King Tiger is still up and running. He's got 2 stars of veterancy and 36 kills. The Stukos is still above him, 41 on one and 34 on the other one, just barely behind. This Panther coming in will also put a round or two into the side armor of this Su-85s. Yikes! Never mind, it's going to get forced back. Good decision to back away, my friend. Good decision. But the Stukos, there's so many anti-tank targets on the field, but just none of them are doing anything positive with it. Watch this guy get out and get taken out by the booby trap. It'd be kind of funny, actually. No, not going to happen? Okay, well, I thought it'd be pretty funny. More Fallschirmjägers getting called out of the building up to the north to decap and probably recap that point for the Germans. And the Allies have enough infantry to stop it, but they're not going to, it doesn't look like. Looks like everyone's just too exhausted. I mean, almost an hour long into this game. Yep, there goes a booby trap, and combat engineers are forced back. Ober should just continue to throw down booby traps as much as possible. Yep, booby trap in the point yet again. And now Sturmpire squad's coming out, so it'll be kind of fun right there. Lieutenant will see the booby trapping happening here, but he's not a whole lot he can do about it. Yeah, so what? One model drops, not a big deal. Definitely another opportunity for a round or two to come in, and there we go. Question is, what the heck? Oh, he's looking for the north. Yikes, that's a good chunk of damage. Not a ton, but a good chunk. Hoping to see a round or two coming in this area.
An anti-tank gun has taken the field.
Maybe. Okay, so a predictive one doesn't do exactly what he was hoping to. Close, but no cigar. But the Americans don't control any points whatsoever. It's a 29 to 164. Could this finally be the end? I don't know, but there's a ton of Jacksons on the field. Andrew Jackson, Stonewall Jackson, Peter Jackson. There's Jacksons in every direction. And the Su-85s, there's so many Su-85s in the field, you'd think it was a convention. So all these tank destroyers and no tanks being destroyed on the German side. Ober's charging to the north just to stop any sort of capping out from the Allies, and that's fine too. He can just look to just absorb a lot of rounds. Probably all he really needs to do. Another gun run coming in, and we're going to see another P-47 death. Maybe. Yep, there we go. And that's a fifth one. So I have never seen so many planes get taken out here. In a single game, mind you. In a single game. Just south of an hour. It's going to be just north of an hour pretty soon. 4 stars of veterancy on that bad boy. 3 stars of veterancy on him. What does a 4-star veterancy give you? Incendiary rockets. Yikes. Terrifying, mind you. Panther coming, oh excuse me, King Tiger coming in. He's going to get swarmed, but it doesn't matter at this point. He's going to lose his life in defense of the fatherland. Not a big deal, right? And it's just going to turn this off just to kind of appreciate this a little bit more. So one Jackson goes down anyway. And I don't even think that King Tiger is even going to buy it. No, he's going to back away. He's going to continue to back away. No, he finally does go down. But you know what? Not a big deal. 4 tickets. If the Germans just take the center position, it's not going to matter anymore. And even in death, the King Tiger did a bunch of work. Brownie goes down to just a couple of troops anymore. He's decided to lose himself of all of his men. Stuka's and Fu's rounds are going to come in any second now. Taking out a couple more Americans in the meantime, so that thing's going to finish out with about 44 kills. And I'm really hoping that wasn't just like a, oh, screw this, we're going to win, and he just lost the game for his own people. It would be really super embarrassing. But yikes. All I can say is yikes. Kind of depressing to a certain extent. These MGs are just anemic. There's nothing left to them. They're getting taken out like candy? No, not candy. Candy, bad idea. Microsoft Word, though, has lost one of his Su-85s. One of the Jacksons has gone down in the meantime, too. And now LMGs are being picked up by the Americans and the Soviets. So we're going to see something like a cheeky, I don't know, Fallschirmjäger play. Maybe just start spamming out Panzer Fusiliers. Might be a good idea since he's got no real infantry to speak of. I don't know. We'll see. It looks like everyone's game to continue playing, though, even though there's just a couple of tickets left for the Allies. One more round coming in. Predictive, looking for things. Incendiary rounds, indeed. So this machine gun right here, getting shaken and bacon. He's going to go down, in fact. That is a good hit right there, that is. And it doesn't look like... Okay. SARS is building another Panzer IV, and it looks like a Panzer II. Or is it a boom bar? No, it's a... No, it's a... What? No. Really? He's building a Panzer II? Interesting. So Panzer II going to come out. A little bit of final, maybe an FU to the Allies. I don't know. but another round of rockets in the middle part of the field would be enough to really seal things in for the Allies, excuse me, for the Axis. And yep, this capping out the point will be enough to take it just before the Russians can straddle onto the point. And yep, that's going to be it. So well done. Well done to BROVVNIE and to SARS. It took them a fair bit of time there. And indeed, just going to lose that. Oh, a nice, brilliant last shot there. Let's just turn this off so we can just see that, appreciate it. Look at that gloriousness. I do believe BROVVNIE sent me this game, so well done, BROVVNIE. Thank you for sending this one in. I appreciate it. Orange Leopard and Microsoft Word. Well, Microsoft Word's always a little buggy. So unfortunately, that wasn't your day today, guys. Either way, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you appreciate what you see. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and comment below. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you guys all soon. This is Conor signing off. Take it easy, everybody.